The more dogs a society has, the more illnesses a society has. Mental illness, stomach illness, parasites, emotional illness, financial illness. So the stomach flu, aka the norovirus, is more of a problem, according to the news and other outlets. Lots of people are getting sick with this. And they say it's because, well, they're spending too much time indoors and it thrives in the cold. So, well, I'm pretty sure it's linked to dog ownership because dog ownership goes up, stomach flu goes up. So here is our video that will be in the description. While you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. So here are some symptoms. You got your vomiting, right?
It only takes a very small amount of particles to make a person sick.
It only takes a little bit of particles to make a person sick. So, can you get this sickness from your dogs? Let's have a look. So, I found several articles and studies that say yes, you can. Here is a study that I will put down in the description for you to check out. And it says all kinds of stuff. The norovirus can bind to the cells in the canine gut. You can catch it from dogs. And what did it say? All you need is a few particles to catch it or spread it, right? What's going on right here? They're sharing particles, saliva, piss particles, poop particles from that dog. If that dog was around an infected person, it's going to be a reservoir, and then it's going to give it to that little kid. So notice my blue highlight right here. And we notice this with other negative externalities of dog culture. It affects children and elderly. When it comes to dog attacks, for example, children cannot fight dogs off and they get their faces ripped up. The same thing with elderly. They're not strong enough to hold back a dog, so they get killed and they get their arms ripped off of them. So if we ask the internet to find us some articles and studies about this rise of stomach sickness, it's been more and more of a problem. It's more of a health risk for people. The norovirus, stomach infections, CDC warnings. Also, Shigella, I mentioned that in a previous video. That is from consuming particles of feces, getting poop molecules in your breath and in your stomach and everywhere else. So these sicknesses are on the rise, right along with dog ownership. So do we live in a society where these particles are getting into our body, these feces particles? Yes, we do. This is what our dogs do. Dogs consume their own waste products. I mean, dogs will consume a couch. Dogs will consume a freaking grease-flavored paper plate anyways. So yeah, these particles are being consumed and spread around by dogs. And then what do we do with these dogs that are consuming their own waste products and each other's waste products? Well, we do stuff like this. We put them right around our kids. The kids that get the most sicknesses from these airborne feces type diseases. The same thing with elderly people. We get these little lap dogs for elderly people because, oh, grandma needs a little dog or needs a pit bull to protect her, then she gets killed, or the grandma or grandma gets sick. This dog probably ate a turd within the last 24 hours, and now its little tongue is sticking out. And look at the baby. The baby's like, no, thank you. I'd rather not. But you know what's going to happen. This dog is going to come up and lick on the baby. The parents will take several pictures, throw them up on Facebook, and everyone will be like, oh my God, how precious. But the dog just delivered feces particles into that baby's microbiome. So yeah, the particles that they talk about, Dogs are a huge carrier, a huge reservoir for all this stuff. Even the current president, if you could call him that, promotes this particle sharing. Feces, saliva, dander. When has Joe Biden or his wife ever talked about groomer's lung or talked about the dangers of dog allergies? Never. They never do it. They just promote this kind of stuff. They promote all this kind of stuff, like this picture right here. Particles. So if all you need is a few particles to get this nasty stomach illness, and you can get it from a dog, why are we promoting all this stuff? Now, I mentioned mental illness earlier on in the video, and just as an example, this is the type of mental illness that goes along with our dog culture. Veterinarians have a high rate of suicide. They have a high rate of burnout, and maybe it's from dealing with the dog owners, or maybe it's from being around these dogs. Maybe it's from consuming all the feces and saliva particles and having their immune systems overrun. When your immune system is fired up all the time, you're high on cortisol, the stress hormone. So if these veterinarians are consuming these particles that I talked about earlier in this video, their immune systems aren't running just at idle like they should be. Their immune systems are running super high, which means they're high on cortisol, which means all of their glands in their body, their thyroid, their adrenal glands, they're just running, they're being overrun. It's like drinking 5 to 10 cups of coffee a day. It's going to catch up to you. And that's what's happening to these people. If they're consuming these feces particles and their immune systems are being overrun, it's no wonder that they're being burned out and considering suicide or considering ditching their profession, a profession that was their dream job. Many of these women that are in these videos I've collected and other stories that will be in the links underneath some of these videos, these women believe that being a veterinarian is their dream job, but they get burned out instantly and they will totally ditch their job. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about mental health in a world that is filled with dogs. Mental health for humans is low. More dogs equals less health for humans. So when it comes to this new virus, the evidence about dogs being a vector for this disease and being a carrier and spreader of this disease, this little statement right here that I'm circling, this is a true statement. And there's other studies and other anecdotal information that prove this. And it also proves that the more dogs we have in society, the more sickness we have in society. If you want to see some examples, down in the description, I'll put several links that prove this. So stay diarrhea free out there, people. Thanks for watching.